Well, hello, and welcome. This is Jolene with Agile Design, and we're here today with a review and some craft and chat, because I really want to play with this kit, and I can't wait to introduce it to you. Well, we're in the first official week of December. Woohoo! I can take a breath, and I can craft and design with you guys. I've gotten the birthday party under my belt. Christmas is all set up in the house. Still have to wrap and buy presents, but it's all decorated, ready to go. And we can take the weight off, and we can design, and we can play, and we can share and chat and get through the month with a lot of love and creativity. Even got my nails. They're all blue, ready to go. No more fall. So happy. I'm a snowflake girl, so that's why we have winter kits in my shop that are snowflakey and snowmen, and there's a little bit of that in here too, as we are introducing the Dashing Through Winter Digital Journal Kit today. And it is 20 pages, 11 decorative, and 9 ephemera pages that will get you through the last of your Christmas, into your winter, a little bit of everything, right? It's really not one or the other. It has a little Santa, has a little hollies and your angels, and you could go either way with it. You can make it this totally Christmas, or you can really just lend it to a wintry scene. Excuse me. And, if you look at the Etsy shop, it's funny how I paired the pages. We sort of have a green set, we have a red set, and a blue set of pages. But they all blend really well together because they all are very much, they pull from all these colors of these wonderfully gorgeous cabinet cards that were found off my site. So let's get at it today, because I really want to do some projects with you guys today. I had a couple ideas with some of these pages. There goes my ruler. I always do that. I know better. So yeah, I had a couple thoughts just to play immediately with this kit, and so I wanted to start that with you. So we'll start with a reveal, and if that's all you need, then you're more than welcome to stop at that point. And if you want to do some craft and chat with me, you'll continue to watch, I hope. So we're going to start with 11 pages. They're my usual digital design pages and a couple background papers, because you always have to have some kind of pattern or things that go with it to back it, to collage with, to play with. These girls were, and boys, I should say, I've got a couple boys in here, were just stunning imagery that I had found, and it came across my emails, and I went, well, we might as well do it. And some great background pages and scenery, landscape pages that really made for a fun setup. I have not backed any of these because I'm really not sure what I'm doing with this. I think a lot of things are going to be done in a way of folding and backing and collaging, and not your standard. I'm not just going to fold this up and throw it into a journal. I've got a couple ideas that are going to be very unusual. Especially after doing that flip-flop journal, I'm definitely looking at my pages differently. Still designing in the standard, fold it down the middle, but we've got a collage page, which again, easily fold down the middle, 2 ends, super cute. I love this dog in the truck. They were absolutely adorable also. A lot of things, a lot of this was cabinetry and full pages, so I made my own. I took bits and pieces from the photos and created our own little fussy cuts for it. So I really wish I'd clipped some of this one out, because I didn't end up with that. I used other hollies that I had, but I sort of wish I'd done that one. Sleigh ride, of course, and there was a lot of fun, sleighs and horse-drawn carriage rides, and again, things that could be done right down the middle, trimmed and up. I love this one. It's a gorgeous green for one. This one pattern paper got used a lot that I found. I really wish there had been a few more that I had found within this kit of digitals, but I went ahead and made some of my own just to stretch it out. And layered. This background didn't have him or this on it, I made sure every page had a little added something to it. You're in the church, you're singing your songs, Santa's coming to town. I love this one. I have my other one that I love, so I was really stoked to find a new Santa picture. I'm like, I have used the same vintage Santa forever. And it's funny, I have one or two just like it in my house. So we did these ones. These were sort of your frame cards. Blew them up to pages, so that we're going to do something fun with this page later on. And hopefully you'll join along and maybe, find it's probably nothing new. It's probably something I've seen and I'm combining in my own little tidbit there. But I want a fun project with that page. But I thought it'd be a fun journal page. This one is great too. This one, when you fold it down the middle, you're probably going to cut right across them, but you had, sleighs on both ends. And I love that the snow globe, I sort of turned it into ornaments and sort of just layered them into the background for just something different when you fold the page, right? Not your standard. Just a little something fun and playful. I love to have it by the top. It almost looks just like a white stamped silhouette on it. So that was fun. Pictures and borders and fussy cuts. Then I went ahead and did a blue snowflake with those snow globes. Now, if you see lines on here, they will not show up on your printer unless your printer heads are having issues. I love HP, but apparently Epson and everybody else is having the same problems. We get into solid colors, and I don't know why our cartridge heads just can't seem to function with solid color. Even though it's not solid, it's like washed and there's stuff on it, and it shouldn't be a problem. But yet, you know, I have lines when I print. But it's a pretty... But then this you can't tell. So that is our pattern that I blew up to fit how I wanted. And then I gave you a green sort of buffalo page. And give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Do you need to go inside? No? My new kitty cat, I'm letting her out here with me in the garage. So with a little bit of, you know, supervision, she's checking stuff out. So then you get the green, like buffalo plaid type page. Just to give some definition, some change, and some layering to find, you know, because I think with that, you can have a lot of fun collaging it and having places. So 3 backgrounds, right? And then our 8 decorative, oops, upside down. Our 8 lovely pages. Oh, they're all upside down. How do I do that? Oh, maybe the way I was turning them. So then the 8 pretty pages to fold and make a really, easily make a simple 9x6 journal. If you need to put one together really quickly, put some backing on it. You know, really be backing one of these pages with a distressed color or coffee dyed. You can grunge it up and, you know, you've got back sides to write on and pages to do really quickly. A nice little, you know, set of pages to work with. I think this is going to make a perfect, Kiki, make a perfect middle to your signature, which we are going to work with then today. So there's those. But with this aside, we'll get to that. I'm really excited. I'm trying not to jump the gun here. Kiki, what you doing, Bubbles? She's this little fluff ball of orange, or not orange, of gray. She's like, she's up to 9 pounds, I think, now. She's gaining some weight. She was pretty little when we got her. She, had two litters of kittens by the time someone finally was able to rescue her. She likes weird hidey hole spots. She is so funny. Hey, Kiki, wait, hold on. What? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the page for a moment. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's all kinds of good stuff back there. Oh, she's going to hide. She likes to get into tiny little areas back in no man's land. And I'm like, I hope there's nothing back there she can get into. She's not supposed to. All right. So now we have, what did I say? That was 11, so 9 pages of ephemera. So it's a 20-page kit. As we usually have a belly band. We have the large journal cards. I did a large scalloped tag pocket. So the back, what makes it a pocket, and of course a tag itself. I just adored this cluster when I was done. So then you get another tag. A smidge longer, and then all these little guys. So we have individual little mini scallops. We have a trifold scallop tag that you can fold up. One of my normal tags, and then some itty bitty embellishments of the framed pieces and the music sheets. I thought these would be fun little squares to help layer up with. We have my usual 4-up journal cards. Took all of my favorite scenes and sort of shrunk them up into full journal cards to make it easy to write on the back. You have your 6-up. We have our frames again. Some things are switched. This one I just kept letting it morph into whatever size necessary. And the other ones I played with. Gave you a blue and another washi band. Then you have like the cabinet card pieces. So you have some cutouts. You have, I think, 2 sizes of each one of these. So you've got like a medium size and you've got a really small one. Which, if you really wanted to, you could cut it out of that collage page too if you want a bigger version of these guys. We got it coming out already. Then you have some pockets where you've got the double stacked, the single, another washi band, my squared rounded corner with another little itty bitty embellishment. I was filling the corners, which is what gave me the idea to do more of them. You have a standard medium envelope in the blues, some flags, your tabs as usual, and the heavily bordered labels all in the basic pattern so that you can just add into it. That I had to do, I didn't have a lot of him, and I'm like, I have to have him. So you do have your full 4-flap envelope / flip out ephemera piece. What are you doing? You're being real silly. And we had to have him on there, and added some holly. And, of course, you have some tags down here. So, I hope this will give you guys a little something if you want that last-minute winter kit. Winter/Christmas kit. It's not heavily, like, you know, ornament and trees, but there is Santa, and there are the like, sort of like angels and the feel of Christmas. But you can do winter, too. I mean, no one says it has to be one or the other. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Dashing Through Winter Digital Journal Kit, 20 pages, up on my Etsy shop. The link to this listing immediately, of course, is down below when you hit that upside down triangle or show more in my description box. The link is there, always direct to the kit I'm playing with. And, of course, there's a link to my whole shop if that's just easier. And you can pick and choose, look through the whole kit and caboodle. This will be sitting in the seasonal holiday gift category, so you can also find it that way. Usually it's featured for a while and whatnot, but I do have a seasonal holiday kit section, so you can find anything I've got going right now that is Christmas and winter throughout the year. At least for now. I usually will deactivate it come February, March, and save myself some fees for a little while. Now, of course, if you ever want something that you've seen before, you didn't get it at the time, you favored it but can't find it, always let me know. Please DM me, message me on Etsy, here, whatever. I'll be more than happy to release that kit for a few days so that you guys can grab it if you're really, really in the need of something. I'll never tell you no on that, ever. So that is about it. Really simple, to the point. There's the kit. I hope you love it. I keep telling myself, that's the last thing I'm going to do, and then I find something else to do. But I really think this, being the 5th of December, should be the last Christmas kit that I put out, unless I find itty-bitty embellishments or tags or labels or something I decide to add to this as I'm playing with it, and I decide I need more for something. I will always add stuff in. So I thank you all so much for liking, loving, subscribing, notifications, commenting. I am 4 away from 300 subscribers, so I'm hoping we'll grab some newbies this week, and we can get above 300. And if so, then I will come on with another little video about maybe a giveaway. We'll see if I hit the 300 mark. Let's see what happens. So spread, share, love, like, comment, and let's see what happens. Let's see if I can get above 300 before the end of the year. That would be awesome. It's been major growth this year on the YouTube side for me, and it means the world to me that I've got a rhythm, and you guys really do want to watch and see what I have going and that I inspire. So thank you all so much, ladies and gentlemen, for those who want to watch just the reveal. But if you want to craft and chat, let's move on. The pause moment, right? All right. We will be using these, but I'm not sure exactly when. So I had 2 ideas when it came to this page. It is a little bummer because when you fold it down the middle, it sort of cuts her in half, right? So I would definitely suggest this be your center of your signature, so that way you're not like, oh, look, I can't see her. She's so pretty. So if you made her the middle of your signature, or one of your signatures, you get to see everybody when it's folded. Not a big deal. That would be my first and foremost thought. But with that, I thought it would be fun to back it with the framed page. Okay? But we're not just going to frame it. We're not going to just, glue them back to back. We're going to cut these out, and we're going to put some mesh. We're going to put some shaker stuff type of in it, and we're going to back it. And we're going to try to make it sort of like a shaker page that is going to be backed with this, so that when you fold it, you have a cute little shaker page on each side of that middle signature, and that's in your middle. So we're going to put this page together, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if I'm making a full journal out of this, but I may just make the page, and maybe they'll be part of a giveaway. I don't know. But this is what we're going to play with today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you will join along. What you doing, Missy? Give me 1 second, ladies. And gentlemen, I shouldn't say one or the other. That's not yours. Hi. She's finding stuff to sniff. I was worried about, Don't need her peeing on anything. She's been pretty good, but how are all of you, all my crafty ladies who follow along with me? So besides this one, I don't think we're going to get to the other one, but I want to hint at it really quickly. Child, what are you doing? The other thing I want to do is take that same page, and I tri-folded it. And I try to measure it out about the same length, about 3.5 inches from both sides, after I trimmed it all off, and scored it to fold. And I want to make a sort of tri-fold folio thing. And I have this piece of cardboard that I got out of something. And I figured, you know, let's collage a little bit around the edges, glue it down, score it where it needs to be scored, which will give us a nice solid page to paper to, you know, solid inside to work with. And we would collage the back inner side as a cover. And then I love Lorette's newest folio. She has that sort of quadruple fold-in cover with a yummy journal inside. And with the flip-flops we've been doing, I'm thinking that this is the cover, a nice hard solid cover that we're going to work with. We're going to collage, and on the inside we can do pockets and belly bands like she did, and then maybe add in a really quick skinny journal into it. And this would nice hard. Maybe we'll be able to put those 4 corners on it. Like, I got so much inspiration off Lorette Chandler's folio that she's working on right now. And oh my gosh, I saw her page the other day and I was like, oh my god, I wonder if I can do anything. So wonderful inspiration. Go check out her page right now. She just finished that folio. So it's really exciting. So anyway, so one page I feel like you should do a trifold. Even if it's something that maybe you don't want it as your centerfold, glue it onto a page and fold it out and decorate the inside. Like, fold it out of your journal. Make something with it. It has that possibility where I did not too shabby, lay out pretty nicely at that 3.5 inch mark. Once you trim off your edges, to give you this lovely attempt where, you know, however you want it. But I would glue it onto the right side, fold it out, and when you know, you can do this and you have all this writing space. If you put it on coffee dyed paper, collaged on it, something. I think it has a lot of potential. But my next project, besides little things for my December daily, is going to be a quick hardcover trifold, you know, trifold covered mini journal, or skinny journal, I think is what we're going to do out of this. So I want to let you guys know there is another project or another possibility with that page. And so what I'll do is, for collaging, I'm going to take these pages and we're going to collage and cover that cardboard one way or another. So look forward to that. That might be later this week. Depends how much creativity I get going today. Let's see, where are we at? 17 minutes. Oh, I actually have like 45 minutes. Or just under, because I know my last one was really long. So sorry. What you doing, Missy? So 40 minutes, about 1 o'clock. Okay, so we're just shy of that. I'll make sure I turn my alarms on so that I do not overdo it for you guys. I know my last one was a little long. I am so sorry. Kiki, what are you doing? Sorry, guys. This is not going to work for me. Let me grab my cat and put her in a house, because she is going to get herself into massive trouble. Huh, Kiki? No. Hi. Yeah, she's a climber. She likes to get into things she's not supposed to. She wants to get up in the rafters, which I'm not comfortable with yet. She's still only been with, she hasn't even been with us 2 months, and so, I love you. No, go. Go inside. One more second, ladies. I know. Okay, so sorry. I thought she'd maybe behave herself, but I figured she wouldn't. I knew she probably wouldn't, but you try anyway. You try to give them some freedom. Little bits of freedom so that maybe they don't get themselves into too much trouble. Haha. Okay, so I'm thinking, don't think too hard, right? Maybe we'll rip the edges to give it a little bit more texture and something fun to add to a page. And then we'll cut these out, and then I'll show you what I was thinking. And of course, I got excited, so I don't know if I have my plastic readily. I feel like we need to have plastic stuff in between. We're going to do this, because I think it looks good with both of them, meshed behind it before we glue this page back on. So to break up the white a little bit. So, but I feel like, well, maybe we don't need the plastic. We have this on the outside, right way. So you can feel this, and we have stuff behind it glued with this, so we glue it right. Maybe we don't need any plastic. Just have this fun bumpy you can feel. And we're going to put some of the large sparkles. I have like, that's really green. Whew. Okay, well the red and white sparkles maybe. I wanted to put something like the little bells in there. Just something little to sort of shake in there. I don't have a lot. But I want definitely the white and the green sparkles and stuff to shake in there with this on it. So we'll give it a shot. Because I realized I don't have a lot of, ooh, but I have some white beads. Let's see what my beads all look like. We want a little something to shake in there, right? But I don't want it too bumpy. It's a thing. Those might be too big. Because what we don't want to do is cause any kind of weird rippling. When you guys are trying to write on it, that would be bad. Oh, I have a snowflake. Maybe not too shaky, but not too much of a shaker. But I think I just want to put fun things that sort of move around in there. So I have a small one. I was hoping I had a little. Oh, maybe I have some of Crafty Cat's cutouts from last year. I bought some of her. You can do those with the green behind it. Yeah, different things on different sides if I can help it. Oh yeah, so I went ahead and got a bunch of these from her last year, a whole set, and I laminated them, and then cut around them and tried to double-sided sticky tape them to the window. Problem was my double-sided sticky tape was bad. Like, something went terribly wrong with it. I don't know. Nothing stuck at all. Nothing has been sticking. So I don't know. I've got to figure out a new way to get them up this year. So I have some snowflakes in the bells because it's really light and very light vintage over here. We've got this, which I got to trim a little bit better, and maybe some confetti. So what have you ladies been up to? We talked about Thanksgiving. Thank you all for replying about how your Thanksgiving went and sharing memories with me. That was super sweet. We got through Sammy's birthday party. Now her birthday's still not for another day, but and even then, if I wanted to be a real butt with her, I'm like, well, you're not officially 16 till 10:30 at night. She was a 13-hour day. From the morning I walked, from the moment they broke my water to the moment she was born, we were a little over 13 hours. But she was nothing compared to her sister, so I'll take it. I thought, oh, this is easy. I can do this. I'm like, the second one's anything like the first one. Like, I can have another baby. Because Sammy was really easy. Waddled a lot near the end. But I really watched my weight and, still worked till up to, I worked up to almost the last minute there. They actually put me on bed rest, mid-November? Because I had some Hicks and Braxton Hicks ordeals. We moved. God, we moved right at what? Right after Halloween or something like that? Or right before Halloween? Like a week before Halloween. We moved into a new home. Because I was nesting big time. I did not want to be in the apartment, condo, townhouse we were in. The room she was going to be in was going to be really dark. Oh, my brother was in real estate at the time. So I said, what do you want to buy? And well, we found a brand new home. 2-story, cute little little residential area in Napomo. And I was, like I said, I was jonesing hard. I was like, let's go. And we got it. And so a week before Halloween, we were moving in. Of course, I'm bending over way too much, trying to undo boxes, and still working. And of course, send myself to the hospital because I was having contractions. Really up high though, like under my rib cage, not too far from my heart-ish area. So it was freaking us out. Of course, went in. They're like, yeah, it's just fake labor, and but there's no signs of you going into labor. So you're fine. You're still a month, was that? A month and a half off, I think, before you're supposed to, before your due date. So, more than that, actually. So it was like, yeah, almost 2 months away. So like, no, you're good. Because she was supposed to be there at the 15th or so of December. Silly girl. So, it's right on Halloween, I guess. Yeah, right after Halloween, maybe, because we were still unloading. I think we signed papers on the 23rd, and we were moving in, the 1st of November. So, yeah, a month and a half away from that. And like, no, you're good. You're probably stressed out. So my doctor was like, finally get to see my doctor, and she's like, let's just be on the safe side, and let's do some, let's put you on bed rest. Let's go home and go on maternity leave early, and da-da-da-da. So I was like, okay. So by my husband's birthday, we did our housewarming, birthday, Thanksgiving celebration. Family came all the way down to the San Luis Obispo area, which is about central coast of California. And, they came down and they hung out and we had a good party, but that was it. That was my starting of my maternity leave at that point. And, 3 weeks later, because the weekend of right after the 17th, but before Thanksgiving that year. Yeah, 3 weeks later, I was being induced. So, supposed to be on the 15th. She was born on the 7th. We went in that morning and had her that night. And, she was, even that, the doctors warned me, well, we're doing Pitocin, but it's going to be a while. It's your first baby, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, my body was determined. It worked well together. We just took our time and went through it, and hubby was, champ, and, 12 and a half hours later, they came to check me and was like, oh, you're, like, fully effaced, and I can feel hair. Let me go get the doctor. Doctor comes in, and, okay, well, I'm going to wait a while. The nurse is like, no, I don't think you have a while. I think you need to get in there. And by 10:37, I think we had, what did we say, 13 minutes of labor and 6 pushes, 6 contractions, and she was out. Like, all right, let's go. Of course, my contraction stopped at one point where she crowns, and my contraction stops, and I have nothing to help me push through. And she just stops. I'm like, what the heck? I was so frustrated. I'm like, why did that stop? No. Why? It was so funny. They couldn't really communicate well, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, what is that? They're like, that's a baby. No, that's not what I mean. Like, why did it stop? So as you see, I'm just cutting a hole and then going around. I do definitely want this out, if I can make not a huge mess out of it, and use this as the framed sort of pieces that they're meant to be. Well, they're probably meant to be smaller. I like the fact that they are page size. Anyway, it was an experience, but I thought it was a really good one, and so I thought, well, I can do this again, no problem, and it took us a couple years just due to financial and stuff like that, and so I got to have the second one, and she's just a little hellion from the word go. Oh well. She's my girl. She's the second one. They're always different, right? You should have known better. Oh, that first one's your, they call your princess or your honeymoon or your whatever pregnancy, and she says, oh yeah, it only gets harder from here on out. And I'm like, what? They don't tell you that? Like, really? So yeah. Anyway, so at 10:37, she was born, and within a half hour, I had her all cleaned up in my arms, and I was feeding her and eating a croissant, ham and cheese, something all at the same time. I was like, you're eating, I'm eating, I am starving. God, I hadn't eaten I barely ate the night before, and I really liked dinner the night before, and knowing we were going to be going in the next day, and so they're doing, I don't eat too much, and all that good stuff. So, oh God, yeah, by 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, I'm like, food, give me food. But we were really lucky because they were really busy, and so I had a really nice, I had a decent delivery room, and they're like, there's nowhere to really move you. We'll just stay here till early morning, and then we'll move you. So we got to stay put, and hubby grabbed a couch thing, and we just hung out and made it do. So, but it was so cold that winter. Oh my God, it wasn't raining. It was just cold. Poor thing. I had to put her up against a wall, like an inner wall, and bundle her up, and poor thing was like, nasally for hours. That was the hardest time. First mom, always worrying, and then you are at, what was I thinking? Oh, this would be enough. But I just gotta glue it right. Okay. Yeah, you're first time mom anyway, and every little noise, and you always worry about them, the whole SID thing, and not breathing, and covering themselves up, and oh my gosh, you worry anyway. And then you go and, just be a first time mom in general, and you're like, oh, come on. So I think if I glue this right, I don't need any plastic or anything. We'll use this as what's going to keep them in there. I think so. We're going to glue this down and see if this works. If it doesn't work quite right, well, we carefully pull it up and we add the plastic. I think it'll be a great little addition to a Christmas book. And yeah, I'm going to have to trim it one way or another. Okay. Because when I'm done with all the pieces. Okay. But this one is definitely thinner, so I don't have to go so much. I wish if I could cut this right, I would have enough to put over here, but I don't think I will. I need to make sure I have enough edges so that it does, yeah, not big enough. Okay. I'm just trying to decide which way to cut the least amount off, and then, and luckily because you're not writing on this on either side, it's okay that it's bumpy because you're not writing on it. Okay. So, anyway, yeah, it was a really cold winter, so every little thing, and I tried to put her on the side of my bed, the bassinet right next to me. So every little noise, of course, woke me up. But then I'm asleep on the bed where I was up against the outside wall, or somewhat, so it was really cold on that side. And so her nose would just run, poor thing, and so she'd be all snotty when she was sleeping. And so I was like, nope, that's not going to work. So I had to put her inside, closer to the bathroom, which of course was always fun, because I was like, don't wake her. Don't wake up in the morning when you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go get ready for work. But he was pretty good. She got pretty good used to that. We had a good pattern after a while, but God, it took me months. So by the time she was 4 months, she was in her room, in her crib with us, all the proper things, because I needed sleep. I needed sleep. She needed more space. And I needed not worry about hubby waking up every night, getting up every morning and worrying about. Ooh, I like that. Definitely gives some interesting dimension. My only worries, I think the reason I was thinking plastic was that was in the background, but then you had the goodie between, so you could see this item. See the items between this and the plastic. Now they won't shake, especially with the netting, they won't shake much. Do I want them as a background or do I want them covered up? I'm trying to decide if we want it sort of hidden behind the snow or whether I want them. Because if that's the case, I definitely have to be more careful in how we glue it. I wish I could ask you ladies. It definitely mutes it down and you can't really tell as much what's there. And I think in this case this is good because these guys are pretty bright and buoyantly. Let me see here. If I do this type of thing, get in here. We're gonna want it muted down with this, so it's not so bright. But it does pull the red from here, which is awesome. That side I definitely feel like needs to be muted down. This side I feel bummed if I don't. So if I put it on this side, then I have to put plastic on it so that it moves around on top of the netting and not under it. Not that it'll move much. The netting definitely keeps things sort of in place, I noticed. Let me see if I can find some plastic for that one. This one I think is going to be fun having that bunchy and having the stuff underneath it to move around. But this one I think we need plastic. And I have plenty of it. I do a lot of Happy Planner stuff. And so I always have those plastic pieces, which are great. And I say that and watch. Now I can't find them. Well, just because I debated back and forth about it, so I didn't pull them out. I do this every time to myself. I don't know why. Oh, goodness. Trying not to stop and start this video more than I need to. Either. Good Lord. Don't you hate that? You think you're prepared, and then you realize maybe not so much. Oh my goodness. But yeah, what are you guys up to? Like, are we... I'm assuming we're all definitely in Christmas mode at this point. We are full blown. Here you go. It's time for Christmas. And I know I am. Ooh, I wonder if that one will work. Is that big enough? Maybe. That top edge is just... Well, if I go at an angle and I cut it, no one would know. There we go. Okay. I have all these little pocket pieces that I bought, and they're okay. They didn't work the way we expected them to in the Happy Planner journal. And, so... now I have all these pockets, and I'm like, So if I really wanted to move and not get caught up in the netting, I could leave them in here and glue them in with that netting behind them, and they would definitely move around easier. That's not a bad idea. Glue, move it over, cut and glue all the proper spots. See, we get crafty. We use what we've got and we make it work. We don't need the extras, so we'll try to keep every seal that we can, and then we'll just glue the rest that we need to create. And I need some white. I definitely want some white pieces in there. So use what you have at home. That is for sure. I'm afraid that is my motto. I don't. I buy stuff all the time. I really do. I'm really bad. I'll buy graphics. I just did it. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I bought graphics today. I got a couple for free, which was fun. I was like, ooh, gotta love the memberships when they go, hey, look, you're one of ours. Here's some free stuff. Pick what you want. I'm like, oh, nice. But then I also have things off on a, I get credit, like monthly credits, part of my membership. So they're like $1 credits and, or 1 credit items. And so I go scrounging through their $1 buckets. It's pretty much what you're doing. And, I go to town. So I'm like, I need more snowflakes for my graphics. I get tired of using the same ones. I just remember I have them. That's my problem. Each year I do it and then I totally forget, or I don't label it right, so I can't find them. So then I'm thinking I have nothing to play with, and it's like, you dork. You have so many things downloaded. Go check. Really look. So there's a couple of these. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I was like, I have Christmas music in the background. It's all instrumental. And all of a sudden it was getting a little country, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind, it's there. So what do we think? Ooh, yeah, I love that. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting somewhere, which is always good. Now, my only worry is that it will stay in the bottom, but I can always try to glue that shut a little bit down, maybe, or I can't always staple it. We can't do any of that, but we'll get it. If I do it just right, I'm going to trim the two edges and reseal them, which just seal them with tape, glue, whatever, because really, you're not going to see it. That is the joy. We're going to make sure everything's glued down in the background between all these layers. So I'm just making sure. All right, let's see. What do I want to use today? Make sure all my glues were out here, but they've been in the house because, oh my gosh, it's been, we had last week, we went from rain all day to 32 degrees the next morning. So anything that was wet was now mellow. Come on. Went from wet to, hey, frost. Like, we had, my poor Jack Skeleton had, drops of, don't lose all that, drops of water drop beads, whatever you want to call them, little ice balls, all down his back where when he laid down the night before, all the rain was sitting there, and it all, like, just decided to, dry up. Or freeze over, I should say. So that was funny. I thought that was like, okay. We haven't done that, but it was weird how it dropped so badly, which we had rain this weekend, and then we thought we were going to go down into the low 30s again this week. But now they're saying rain on and off, so maybe not as cold as we thought. Then we're not going to see above 60 with the rain, which I'm sort of shocked. But we won't get into as many 30s either. We'll stay in the low 40s because of the cloud cover, so that's good. I'd rather have rain than frost. Our poor plants do not need frost. Our crops do not need frost. Really don't. I know some things need to go dormant, but not that much. Alright. Let's not get... Let's see if I can do this. Ooh. Well, what is that? Oh, that's the original opening. Oh, let's not forget about that. I'm like, wait, that's the original opening. No, I am just using the tacky glue, fabric glue, because it doesn't leave. It's a little cleaner in the dry. It doesn't dry. I mean, it takes a little longer to dry, but it doesn't have a weird film. Not that I can say we're going to see any of it, but it doesn't mean I still don't want to, worry about it. So let me, this is where I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's be careful. Let's trim the edges, do my decal cut here, because I think a little rougher, aged, piece would be pretty. But yeah, just using what I've got, using mesh, using plastic, using other pages to back it, because you should always have it closed off. And making a center, the center to a signature, very decorative piece. Like I said, I don't know if I'll give it away. I don't know if I will. I have a couple junk journal ladies that I'm swapping. I should be swapping with. I'm so behind schedule, like I said. I was telling one of them, I'm like, I am so sorry. I am being the worst person. I am not even ready to go. I don't really want to fold this until we're done. So maybe once it's glued down and I score to fold it, then we'll fussy cut the two edges, because I'm really worried that we will here, let's do this. I'm about to do. Okay, let's work this one, since this is coming out, and we are doing with plastic, and we're doing with plastic and netting. I don't really want to use glitter glue. Let's use the tacky, the fabric tack, and see how things go, because I want to make sure that things stick, but I also have time to rearrange in case I goof. Nice things I know I got the right one, because it's a round. Round is going on, is my pretty light colored one. Reminds me a little bit of some of the stuff we were doing with the I don't know what kit that is. Oh, the vintage one. The vintage Christmas had some light, airy, that's where the bells came from, moments. So there is some glue we can see. Yeah, what I did notice is my wipes. My wipes took some of that off. My baby wipes did a good job getting off my fingers, and I want to say off that too. I don't have any wet wipes anymore. I ran out, but I had a whole chunk of baby wipes for my husband, so... Oh yeah, that works beautifully. Alright, there we go. Anything that looks a little dirty or a little too much glass, or not glass, glue. Took it right off. There we go. Make sure everything's clean anyway. Make sure no fingerprints, right? Why not? Without getting the paper wet. Alright. And then find a dry one, and you're good to go. Which I do have dry wet wipes. From working more with my mom's the other week. Which we need to get back together and do something. We've both been so busy with everything. Okay, here we go. So sort of shaky. Not as much as I was hoping. But that's okay. It gives you the feel of I like the bells at the bottom, and yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I would like to think they'd be a little bit more shaky, but I think I have to glue it a little bit looser for that to happen. But I think the little white ones will move whenever we can. So, alright, so let's flip it over again, and we're going to get this one down, and I'm going to probably bumpy side down. Still, even though, like, yeah, this thing is gooey. It doesn't surprise me. It's still sort of cold out here, but it's been in a somewhat warm house. So I'm going to try to glue it really where we don't have plastic first and foremost, and see how that works. Now I wonder if people outside. Probably. Yeah, I think. Oh no, it's my neighbor. I think. Okay. I was like, we got these really. If you follow me on Instagram, I did a shout out to some very local and small business ladies who made this weekend so much easier. I didn't have to come up with all of it myself. And we had wood signs, we had large yard signs, we had cakes, and like my nails. The lady who does my nails, she owns her own salon. She got tired of working for everybody else and not getting paid, and she's like, oh, forget it. This is not worth it. I can hire really good ladies, and I can just, yeah, work for myself. Forget this. So, a lot of great ladies, but I know the lady who put out the sign for me on Friday night needs to come get it soon. So she might be outside. There you go. Look at that. Oh, isn't that pretty? All right, it's working. The idea is working, which is, always beneficial. Okay, so the fun part will be gluing this one down, which we want the bumpy. You really can't tell sometimes. I'm like, I don't know if one side's bumpier than the other. So we're going to glue this down. No. Yes, and we'll put all this stuff on top, and then I'll have to glue the whole page down to keep those in place. Trying to figure that out, right? Try not to do it backwards. Because this one's a little different than the other one. Oh, so comment down below what you've been up to. What is your project right now? Are we working Christmas? Are we working Christmas presents? Maybe they're not a Christmas themed item, but they're for Christmas. Are we working on items for our daughters, our sons, our grandkids? Are we working on for friends? I know in many years I've done a number of journal things, little itty bitty journal things for my girlfriends. I know they don't make these things, but they might enjoy the idea of. I made an itty bitty winter version one year, and one of my girlfriends said, yeah, I wrote in it every day, went to bed and just wrote a little something down and really enjoyed the idea of it. She doesn't, craft that way, but she really enjoyed the idea of having something pretty to write in, and just a little something, right, for this season. Especially when I think it was it first year of COVID, maybe? I don't remember. Drops. We just did a lot of, porch drops. A lot of porch drops. And so that was pretty cool. Okay, now, so let's make sure this is face. Now, I don't even know if I want to put this one here. I don't even know if you'd see it. I'm wondering, that seems like a lost something. I could put the kids in there, though. You would see the kids a little better if I cleaned those up. I wonder if we'd like that. Would the kids be cute in there? I think so. Let's do that. Let's clean up the kids, and then I can, we'll put them and the, whoops, don't drop it. I do that all the time. Gosh, I drop things to the floor. Then we can put the little sparkles in there, the little rain, the confetti. That's what I'm trying to go for. yeah, I want to know what you guys are up to. I want to know what you're making. I want to know who you're making it for. At least in general. You know, I don't know if anybody on my channel anybody's cross watching where you have a daughter or granddaughter or friend who also watches and you're making something for them, but you're just telling me the general idea of what you're making then. We're not showing pictures. I wish, like, can't do that on YouTube like you can on Facebook where you can share photos of what you're doing, but don't forget there is Crafters of Jewel Design to do that with, though. If you're working on something you just want to share because you were inspired by something I did or Lorette did, and you just want to share what you're doing, doesn't have to be my kit, can just be what you're up to. And then if you happen to use my kit, awesome. I love seeing my stuff in action. It makes me very happy because I am very much I do it digitally, but I like print. I'm a print girl. I want to see things in our hands. I want to physically see the product, see the outcome of what I create, and to see it on the shelf or see it in the shop or, you know, see it designed. I've done labels for bottles of product, and I've done labels for candles and, you know, brochures and things like that. To see their work being advertised or displayed is such joy for me as a small, you know, as a graphic designer. And it's just been a joy that I can do this way for you guys. So everybody has an opportunity to do, you know, their own little thing with what I design, and hope that, you know, the papers inspire, just like I hope the graphics inspire me to make the pages, right? I always hope that these pages inspired some lovely design, some wonderful creation. So what are you doing? And when do you guys start, you know, like, have you decorated for your house? How far along are you? Do you not decorate? That's okay. You don't decorate, maybe you're just winter. Some people are winter decorators, or not so much Christmas, or they're very vintage. Okay, so I want to make sure I have this. This is upside down. Make sure as I lay this down, because I know the moment I cut that other piece of paper, I'm going to glue it down, and the last thing I want to do is have it upside down. That would kill me after all of that. So I think I'm going to try to put a majority of these behind them. Oh, a little bit more white. I know it seems weird. I don't want to get too much green. Red and green is good. Red and white is good. I don't want too much green because it's definitely bright compared to everything else. But I did want a little bit in there. The white's for that extra snowy effect. So let's do that. You can always go glue the three sides and then see how it looks, and if I need to shove a little more in there, but I think that's good. Don't think I need any more in there. I was a little heavy-handed when I first put it down. Oh, let's go. How are we doing? I thought, you know, I started to do that timer. Started to do a timer so I knew how long, and I saw the cat. Sorry, I have lights. Cute little Tim Holtz Christmas lights for all his little projects. And the darn thing keeps falling off the shelf. So we're just not going to play with that. Move it aside. All right, so let's, same thing. Let's do the edges of this one, so that when I glue it down, at least two of the edges are ready to go. I don't know how well this cuts through many layers, so I don't know. Like, well, we'll do this, and you know, they're pretty much, I'd say they're the same direction, but I just did them upside down, so who knows. Let's cut. Well, if this sparks an idea, I'm not perfect at making the shaker things. Like I said, I'm only using what I have. I have to, whatever materials I have is what I use most of the time. I buy very few little new things because, well, I don't make this stuff enough. I really wish I did. I have a lot. I have so many little things, and I do a lot of stuff for someone who doesn't make this stuff every day. Already sitting on to my right, or my right, your left. No, my left, maybe your right. I already have a lot of things that I really, really need to use, so I'm definitely trying to make digitals for you guys here and there, but really need to, so we'll glitter glue three ends. I think I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Carefully pull it up so we see how we're doing. And I'm gonna have to glue really tight here and here, even though I'm doing it around the edges. Also here, otherwise all this stuff's gonna fly right off, right? It's gonna go to the bottom, it's gonna go to the back of the other one, and all that fun stuff, and we don't want any of that. So we're gonna have to do a little extra. Ooh, so yeah, let's do glitter glue around here, and I'm gonna have to do, I think more of the tacky around on the actual, what do you want to call it? the actual area, the mesh, because I don't think the paper, the glitter glue is too hard to get in there. And even I'm noticing my little skinny thing right now, it's not working for all this amount of glue I need to get out. There we go. I'm like great for the details in between everything, but right now I need some glue. I need some serious glue. I do not want this to come apart. And I said I wasn't going to do the top, huh? Oh, well, ladies, we are, we're committing. It's a committed deal. We're not joking around with this stuff. We are getting it done. I don't need to do this one, but I definitely need to make sure we have as much glue as we can in here, so this stuff does not move around. I don't end up with red dots on my not so red spot. I don't want red everywhere else. I want to keep it right in my little pocket. I have a lot of glue on it. It really is. I'm like, there's no chance of it not. So I know I'm off the page. Let me get it back up here a little bit so you can see me struggle. We know this is upside down, so we want to make sure that this is upside down. Otherwise, I just did this all for nothing, right? Well, not for nothing, but it sure as heck isn't going to be fun. And I can always trim off a little bit more because it's not lining up, I see. And that's going to be the hard part, is once you're down with glitter glue, you're down. Which I get to, yeah, we'll just touch it up. That's just what it is. We're going to do it, and we're just going to let it, we'll either bevel cut it or distress Dexel cutting from Tim Holtz, or we'll distress it. So you can feel it. You can feel the bumpy in here, which does give it some fun texture. If you sort of press on it, it may give a little bit of a bumpy on here, but again, we're not writing on these pages. So this is literally the center of your signature, and it's a great way to decorate it, and, you know, it's not where we're worrying about it. You know, you could add external elements, some dimension to this page, knowing, again, it's not going to mess up the other side. All right, did I do okay? I don't know. I feel it, but I don't. Some of my stuff is getting caught up in there, so I don't know. And they're on their side. So funny. Well, they definitely move around, but they don't come out, which is the whole point. I don't see them coming to the other side quite yet, so that's good. So we'll give it a, make sure we don't have stuff too much in there, because watch, I'll get all my glitter stuff in the middle where it's not dry yet. We'll push on the outsides here, not too much on the inside, so that if it's going to stick, it won't stick. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh, I love it. And it's just some weight, and it's texture, and it's, you can feel it. It's smooth here, but you can feel it over here. Eee! I should have distressed this, though. I know better. Right? You always see it after the fact. You always see the little thing you should have done after you do it. Always, 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 always. I have an itty bitty brush if I can find it. Or it might work. There we go. Itty bitty brush. Let's see if I can distress it. How much new over there? I think it was my glitter one. Let's see. Well, we're letting it dry some more, right? Before I fold it and before I... Let's see. Oh, I didn't really glue down, so yeah, perfect. Okay. I thought I glued it down, but apparently not. Let's distress it just a little bit. Play with it a little. We'll go even across the white that it's there. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Did we succeed? Did we do okay? There. Put my finger in it. I just thought it was fun. I don't know. I like utilizing things that are there, and I don't know. Sometimes using it literally the way you see it, and that's okay. And other times you'll see that and then think of something completely different and, you know, really go a different way with it. And there we go. Distress something. This is in the bottom. The guys are there. All right, now the fun part. Because once I fold it, I may then match everything up. How do I want to do this? With the, of course, with the, there it is. And my distressed, or my, I love this thing. I use it for, I know there's bone folders and stuff, but this became a little easier for me. The bone folders, I seem to wear out the bone folders themselves. Like I kept wearing them down. Ooh, and there's a soft spot there. Not quite ready. Well, this does look like it's going to be a problem, which it is. It's getting soft. We will just cover it with washi. Yep, we'll washi it because I have, I think, a pretty one from chapter 1 that will go nicely. We'll just do that to make sure. Yeah, it's a little distressing. Don't want to ruin the inside here. This is where it needs to be, but the outside's a little touchy. So we're gonna washi that to make sure it's reinforced, because we got some wet spots I didn't see. And let's get this out. We'll distress all the way around it. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. How am I doing? Oh yeah, 55 minutes. So we are done with this. So you'll have to continue on this week or next week. I haven't decided. I'm going to try to keep going and see if I can get the new one started. The new potential trifold. Sorry, guys. Oh, definitely a rough edge because it's glued. It's not as smooth. And there's a lot of paper there. That's okay, though. I don't mind that. It's nice and it's definitely got a feel to it, that's for sure. I probably should not have done those together. I know better. But I wanted to make sure they were together enough that we had the same length. I wasn't cutting one shorter than the other. But that definitely made it worse. Okay, well, very rough edged, and that's okay. I don't mind that. It gives it character. We always like character. We love character. But you have to do the top and bottom this way because it's only an 8-inch tall, so you can't not do it together because they don't fit all, or it doesn't go all 10 or 11 inches across, so I have to. There we go. You made it well. It'll hold. Ah, there we go. A little distressing, and oh my gosh, it's going to be gorgeous. So thank you again for watching and liking, loving, subscribing, commenting, hitting the notification bells. I really appreciate all of you who've joined in, all the new ones and the old ones, and I should say loyal ones. I shouldn't say old. But some of you have been around from the beginning. Some have come and gone. I hope I have a bunch of new ladies who are really enjoying everything I'm doing, what I'm designing, what I'm crafting, what I'm working on, and that it inspires one way or another, whether it's the digitals, whether it's the design, whether it's just the camaraderie, the community, and the chat. I love it all, and I'm really glad you're all here, and we'll hopefully continue to grow this little community here and make the most of it. So thank you for joining. Make sure you check me out if you're new to me. You go over to Crafters of a Jewel Design. It's a group on Facebook made by Julie and Bert and a Jewel Design. And you can join that and share the things that you are making, the things that you've been inspired to do and you've created. And if you happen to use my kit, all the merrier. Really appreciate that. And the purchase, the patronage, the support, the small business support. And we will just see you guys soon. Hopefully maybe end of the week for one reason or another, whether it's 300 subbies or whether it's the beginning of that trifold. I really want to get that going and share that with you guys and see how that turns out. Let's see if my ambitions are big. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that cute? You have a signature, middle signature with shakies. Remember, I cut everything, so I have to glue those all back together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day, and we will just all see you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.